OpenEdge View is a secure online reporting resource that serves as a central location for OpenEdge merchants to process and track all types of payments. OpenEdge View offers easy access to all location activity and provides transaction data from your OpenEdge platform devices and channels. From the homepage, you can view important announcements from OpenEdge, product news, system updates, and more. Virtual Terminal allows you to process credit cards from any device with an internet connection. In the event your point-of-sale software goes down, as long as you have an internet connection, you can log in to OpenEdge View and still process transactions for your business. Simply type in the required fields, including card number, expiration date, and total amount to submit a credit card transaction. You can also add optional fields such as invoice number, PO number, and billing information. You can provide a receipt after the transaction is submitted by visiting the transaction history page. Receipts can be sent to any printer on your network, and the receipt will default to whatever size paper is loaded in your printer. Any credit card or check transaction that is processed through your point of sale will record under Reports. This includes any terminals connected to your merchant accounts, even if you are running your payment software from multiple terminals and locations. From the Reports tab, you can view all transactions processed through your point-of-sale software, as well as the virtual terminal. In order to run credit and debit card reports, click on the Reports tab and select Credit and Debit Transaction Report. There are options to run both a summary report and a detail report. In addition, you can select the date and time range. There are preset ranges for frequently used reporting periods, and you can also select any custom date and time range. If you have more than one account, hit Select and you can sort by account name or account ID, or you can filter the account by any other field included in the report, such as processor, entry mode, authorization code, etc. The filter feature has two uses. 1. Use the filter to quickly select a specific account or multiple accounts. 2. Use the filter feature to narrow the search result and zoom into specific transactions. You can also further narrow your search by using a batch ID, payment types, or transaction state, such as settled or voided, or even card brand. You can determine what fields to include in either your detail or summary reports. To add custom fields to a report, select the Custom Fields button in the top right corner. You can select custom fields to add to your report from the available columns. After you have selected all of your fields and filters, you can select Generate Report, and you will then see the report once it is loaded. For a detail report, all of the fields included on the report will appear as columns, including the last 4 digits of the card number, entry mode, authorization code, amount, and even invoice number if you have selected those fields before running the report. You can then export your report into a variety of formats, including CSV, Excel, PDF, or HTML. To navigate between pages in the report, use the buttons at the bottom right corner of the screen. You can also navigate between the summary and detail reports and change search criteria by hitting Show Search Fields at the top part of the screen. For a summary report, you will see the number of transactions that fit the field or column criteria, such as number of sales, number of refunds, number of authorizations, number of voids, number of declines, and sale, refund, void, and decline dollar amounts. Each column will have a grand total at the bottom. You can also export summary reports. You can run a report for check transactions by selecting Check on the Reports tab. Check transaction reports consist of both summary and detail reports for original transactions, return transactions, or notice of change. Notice of change happens when the consumer's bank information, routing number or account number, have been changed. The transaction is still processed, but the consumer's bank notifies the merchant to correct the banking information of the consumer in order to send the correct information with the next transaction. Similar to credit and debit card transaction reporting, you are able to select either preset date and time ranges or custom date and time ranges for your check transaction reports. You can also select which accounts to include. Once those criteria have been selected, click on Generate Report. Detail reports include account ID, account name, transaction ID, check number, client ID, transaction type, transaction state, and amount. You can also further narrow down your report by using the filter function at the top left. If you search for return transactions, your report will display the account ID, account name, number of NSF transactions, transactions returned for non-sufficient funds, the dollar amount of the NSF transactions, the number and dollar amount of bad accounts, along with the number of disputes and amounts. To drill down into further detail, you can also click on the account ID on the left side of the report. That will show all of the individual transactions that make up the summary report. On a return transaction detail report, you will see the return code and return reason, as well as submitted time. You can export check reports the same as your other reports as either CSV, Excel, PDF, or HTML reports. You can also navigate between report pages in the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, to search for specific transactions, select the Transactions button at the top of the screen. Similar to reports, users can select a preset date and time or enter a custom date and time range. Users can also choose multiple accounts, as well as other optional criteria, including transaction ID, minimum or maximum amount, PO number, cardholder's name, invoice number, last 4 digits of the card number, or even clerk ID. When ready to begin the search, simply hit Search at the bottom left of the screen. The search will return the number of transactions matching the criteria entered. You can then click on specific transactions for more detail, including transaction status, payment detail, and order detail. If you click on the History tab at the top right, it shows the actions associated with the transaction, as well as action type, submitted time, who it was performed by, and the response code. After you have performed a transaction search, you can also further filter the search by using the filter option at the top left of the screen. Any field included in the transaction report is searchable in the filter function. From the transaction report, you can select a specific transaction. Then, depending on the transaction status, you can perform further functions. For example, on an unsettled authorization, you could select the transaction, and then using the buttons in the transaction status screen, you could perform a capture, void, or adjustment. If a transaction has a receipt, you can also print or email a receipt from the history screen using the appropriate buttons. A batch is defined as a collection of transactions that are submitted to the credit card processor and align closely with the deposits. Similar to transactions and reports, the Search Batches option allows you to select either preset dates and times or any custom date and time, as well as which accounts to include. You can then search optionally by batch ID or search by batch state, either open or closed, or both. Once you've selected a specific batch to view, you can see both the Summary and Detail tab. Summary shows the totals for the batch, while Detail shows the individual transactions in the batch. You can click into a transaction for further detail by clicking the corresponding transaction ID. As a merchant manager, you can create a new user by going to the Administrator panel. Then select Create Users on the left-hand navigation bar. There are different user roles you can select, including Merchant Manager, Merchant Clerk, Reporting Manager, Reporting Clerk, Virtual Terminal Manager, Virtual Terminal Clerk, or a Virtual Terminal Only role. Each user role has defined tasks they are able to perform. Depending on the role, it may include user management, account management, chain management, running reports, searching for batches, submitting transactions, and using the virtual terminal. For a full description of each role, please refer to the user manual. When creating a new user, you will be able to select their time zone, time format, and contact information. By default, the user is enabled or active. But if a user is going to be away, you can also select Locked, so they will not have access until Locked is unchecked. Please note that the email address entered for the user will be their username, and it should be unique. Once all contact information is entered, select Create to set up the user. You will then see the notification on the screen that the user is successfully created, along with a reminder to assign accounts to the user. The list on the left consists of all accounts under your chain. If you want to grant access to all accounts for the newly created user, you can select All, or you can select specific accounts to grant access. Just click Save once they appear under Granted Accounts. You can deny access to select accounts by placing them back under the Denied Accounts side and selecting Save. This concludes our training on OpenEdge View. We hope this has been helpful to you in getting started. If you have any questions on OpenEdge View, the phone number to reach us is located on the homepage.